Okay, I decided to make another short little video on another very important dichotomy. Um, this one's on the dichotomy between continuity and change. And I actually think that this classic dichotomy here fits into a number of chapters within sociology. So it could fit into culture. It can fit into social stratification, gender, um, demography, population, and social movements. So, a variety of topics that this can fit into. So, let's go ahead and go to the next slide. So, again, it's a classic dichotomy. So, the difference between continuity in society versus the trend of change, right? Or social change or social transformation. And what's interesting about this dichotomy is that these two are often viewed as converging, so they may still happen at the same time within a society itself. So it's not an either or um, set up, although it might be, but it can actually be a both and kind of situation. So if we first of all define the word continuity, it implies that there are certain patterns in society that do not change, and things tend to stay the way they are. Okay. Um, so here I want to give actually a real quick example. One could argue that um, class structures in the United States have a pattern of continuity, uh, even though there's economic change and technological automation. We still have um, different economic classes and different vested interests that you see play out in society if you're upper class, middle class, or working class. So you still have this example of continuity. Um, so another example of continuity is this idea of stable patterns or traditions or norms that stay the same. The opposing concept is obviously change, and this usually implies any kind of social change um, or demographic change, maybe the age range changes of society, different generations emerge, political trends change in society. Change also implies this kind of fluidness in society, or things are often in a liquid state. Here, I want to use the very famous quote from Marx, one of the conflict thinkers within the field of sociology, where he said, quote, "All that is solid melts into thin air," end quote. And this basically, philosophically implies that things never stay the same. They're constantly changing, and there's often rapid change happening in society. Okay, just think of technological change, self-checkouts, and continues change. So I would also add in for this dichotomy to think about sets of values and beliefs that a society shares, and if there's continuity of those values, whether it might be individualism, okay, or materialism, or view of a positive view of democracy, or the people view democracy as an essential system as opposed to an authoritarian model. There's continuity, in that. and people think they trust it, right? So values is a good way to think about how, attitudes change or they stay the same. So one more example I'm going to give here before I can kind of conclude. Let's use the example of the death penalty and public support. When it comes to United States, the population still widely supports this use of the death penalty, right? So that could reflect a degree of continuity, at least reflected in attitudes. Who knows though? Maybe, it will change one day and attitudes reverse, or there's different views of the use of a death penalty. And to finish it up, um, continuity, I would say, generally falls within a functionalist perspective. It would fit really well. The change concept usually also aligns with either a conflict critical perspective or even a feminist perspective, would fit really well. Symbolic interactionist could probably fit both here. I'll have to think that through for a second. But anyways, just wanted to make a little short video, and hopefully these are useful. Uh, okay, thanks a lot.